So I grew up in the province, and my grandma used to tell me all these scary stories about the manananggal. You know, the monster that splits its body in half, flies around at night, and preys on pregnant women? I never believed her. I thought it was just her way of making me behave. Until last week. I was visiting my cousin in her small barangay for a few days. It's super rural. No streetlights, no Wi-Fi, just fields and forests all around. One night, we stayed up late drinking coffee on the porch, just chatting. The air felt heavy, like the kind of heavy before a storm, but the sky was clear. Around midnight, we heard it. Tick, tick, tick. At first, I thought it was some kind of bird, but my cousin froze. She grabbed my arm and whispered, "Do you hear that?" I laughed it off, but she wasn't kidding. She dragged me inside and bolted the door. I could feel her shaking. That's when I remembered what my grandma used to say. If the tick-tick sounds far, the manananggal is close. If it sounds close, it's far away. We killed the lights and peeked through the window. At first there was nothing, just the dark fields. But then, we saw it. A woman. Or at least the top half of one. Her torso floated above the ground, wings stretched wide, gliding toward a house at the edge of the barangay. I swear my heart stopped. Her intestines were dangling from where her body should have been, and her mouth was impossibly wide, like she was sniffing for something. My cousin whispered, "That's ailing Maria's house. She's 8 months pregnant." We didn't know what to do. Call for help? No one would come in time. So, my cousin grabbed a container of salt and ran to the door. I followed her, barely able to think. She threw the salt across the threshold and shouted into the night, "You're not welcome here." The manananggal stopped midair. It turned to us and let out this blood-curdling scream that I swear still echoes in my head. Then it flew straight up into the trees and disappeared. We stayed up all night, terrified it might come back. By morning, we found out Aling Maria's husband had spread crushed garlic and ash around their house. My grandma's old trick. I left the next day. I haven't slept properly since. Now, every time I hear a bird at night, I can't help but wonder, what if it's not a bird at all? A